I've asked my guys in my program to stop rating women by their physical attractiveness and start rating them by the level of stimulus they receive.
But I'm going to tag it with just one liner. If you're not a high value guy, if you don't feel that you are like providing a lot for your girl and you let your girl go out on a trip, or you know what I'm saying? Like if your girlfriend goes out and runs into the wrong guy at the wrong time,
or the right guy,
good luck.
At the right time.
Well, he's not the right guy because you're monogamous and you're in a relationship.
What I'm saying is that it could be that way. It could be the guy that she's been dreaming of her whole life that she just stumbled across without even trying to look for it, and now you around and you found out, right?
But you're going to get,
right. And when you're married,
I hear you. But you hear what I'm saying, though, right?
It's not appropriate, but it could be. It is what it's the potential.
There is nothing appropriate or inappropriate about it.
Let me opine here. The problem isn't about going out and going. It's the desire to do it in the first place.
100%.
Yes.
Okay.
To think the grass is greener. That's the problem.
Well, it's not even so much that. It's the very fact that why is going out on a hey, we're going to go to Vegas, a girls' weekend in Vegas, right? Or a girls' night out kind of thing. Why does that seem preferable to like going out with the girls than to hanging out with me and doing something really fun with me?
Well, why can't she have both?
Because
this
she
is
wants
what I
girl
don't
time.
understand.
Exactly.
You can't have
different.
You can't have full, well-rounded life if you're always only with your person. You have to be able to be with your friends.
But why do you go to those situations? Why aren't you going?
People like music. Some people like that environment.
Then why is that more preferable than going out with me?
Every single time.
But why do you go out with your male friends and I can't?
You can go with me next weekend, and the weekend after I'm going to go with my girls. There's nothing wrong with going to the club. That's like telling men they can't go to a strip club when they're in a relationship. If it's okay in your relationship, it's okay in your relationship.
Hello.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to do it. You can easily go with your man to the strip club.
Because a man's going to lie and say you didn't go, but you know you did.
It's understanding the desire to go and do that. The very fact that
there's nothing wrong with the desire to go to a music setting. It's a music setting. Just because they've made it a sexual thing now where people go to get laid.
That's true.
Exactly.
It was not about that.
That is not our
fault. It took a turn that way. There's nightclubs.
That's Cardi B's fault.
There's grocery stores as well. You can meet someone anywhere.
Would you agree that there's a difference between going out to zoo and going to Bible study with your girlfriends?
Because I'm trying to point out that of how you go to that club.
Exactly.
Because like if you go to that, for instance, if it's a girls trip, you go to that club and you pay for your table and you pay for your drinks or your bottles. That's you having fun with your friends.
Right.
If you go to that club to talk to the promoter to get the free table with the guys because they want the attractive girls and you let it slide because well I'm not cheating,
I don't want to
but
pay
I just want free stuff. Then it gets into that like
that's when it gets
kind of iffy.
Again, the
really
nightclub
iffy.
is not the issue because a girl can easily have zero. I don't drink when I go out. One of my best friends in the whole entire world is a top DJ. And I go every single time he's in town, I go and I hang out with him.
You support him.
Ask Michael. Every time he sees me on stage, what am I doing?
Just hanging out with your boyfriend.
Standing there, or my husband's with me. Either my husband's standing right next to me, or I'm standing by myself like this, waiting for his set to end because I'm a supportive friend. And it's like, I can go to the club.
Wow, his sets are awesome.
His sets are awesome.
His sets are awesome. It's still my Dead Mouse. His sets are great.
Yeah,
if he was playing tonight, I would take all of you to go see Dead Mouse.
Yes. Yeah. He'll be back on the 12th.
Yes.
But my point is the nightclub setting is not the problem. It's the intent of the person going to the nightclub.
Absolutely.
It's
all intention.
It has nothing. If I say
100%.
I want to go to the nightclub, if my intent is just to go hang out or to see my friend play or to be with my girls, that is the only thing that matters. It shouldn't be that, oh, she went to a nightclub, she's a
She's looking for a man.
Yeah,
not good enough.
Shit, here she goes.
She needs bottles with somebody else.
Drink.
But you just said a minute ago, responding to Cosmo there, that you might meet the guy
and
who...
that's the
I was
risk
drunk,
you run.
he was cute.
But you can meet the
That's not what I said. What I said is accepting the drinks. I told her very clearly, I think crossing the line is accepting drinks. I won't even accept a drink from a man. I won't engage in conversation with a man because I don't want him to think he has a chance, and I don't want to disrespect my relationship. The moment girls are like, oh, I don't mind taking a drink, that's when you start playing with fire, and that's what he was talking about, where you never know when you start engaging in conversation and this guy sparks something in you, and all of a sudden now you around and you found the fuck out. I'm not doing
something because you know what's true is that when a man comes to you and they want to buy you a drink, they're planting some sort of seed with you.
They're telling you what their intent is.
So if you have a man at home and you and you accept this drink from this man instead of buying your own, and then next thing you know, you got something in there.
Yeah, that's
next
wrong.
thing you know what I mean? And
Just
that's how shit like that happens.
It is one of these weird situations. So I've asked my guys in my program to stop rating women by their physical attractiveness and start rating them by the level of stimulus they receive.
Amen.
Meaning, if you grab a girl who's a 10
good.
and she's just like, hey, listen, I'm working to become a surgical nurse. I'm going to school the whole time. I don't really go out that much or whatever, but she's still fantastically
Validate
beautiful.
that, yeah.
Versus a woman who might be a 6 who uses FaceApp and Facetune on her Instagram and then takes regular trips to Dubai.
Yeah.
The girl who's a 6 is more difficult to deal with, period, even though she's less attractive. So I started realizing it's the amount of stimulus you receive. It's also the amount of stimulus you want. She may, I'm going to go to see Thunder from Down Under and not cheat on you. Why do you need that level of stimulus? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Because here's the thing. Human beings, this is something you learn if you guys ever go to any kind of intelligence training or they go to any kind of like SEER school or whatever, everybody breaks. No matter how, everyone, if they put you under torture, you will break. And if you take the bet, and you've seen this yourself with cocktail servers who've moved to the city and they leave husbands and they start the busser or some rich dude who buys them stuff. You know what it was, though? It was chip away. It was chip away every day. There was a guy taller, better looking, smarter, and funnier and richer than their man. Every day they saw that. And after a while, you have to ask yourself, one more time, how much stimulus is she constantly receiving every day? Men screw themselves up with stimulus. What is that called? Pornography. It causes men under the age of 18 to have erectile dysfunction. Women have the excessive levels of stimulus that they receive too. But if it's so much stimulus, then your man cannot compare. 80% of men on dating apps are deemed unattractive.
And before social media, you can go back in my time. I'm 40 years old. When the pickup artist came out, you said not to rate women, but like you see like a 9 or a 10. She's like in Arkansas. We're doing a boot camp. She's working at 7-Eleven. But she has no idea. What was it back there? MySpace, I think?
Yeah.
And she has
Absolutely,
no idea. And now, like what Mike is saying is true. I'm not trying to like belittle women, but there's women that think they're from a 1 to a 10, a 14, because they're being DM'd 40, 50 times, come to Dubai, come to, come here, come there. And in their head, they think like the Drake effect, right? Like if they can Drake one time, they think that they can marry a guy like Drake. And then now we're just like guys are well, but it happens a lot though, right? Like that is what's happening right now.
And even if it's
so
not
we can
happening, the perception of it is still just
which is still reality though, right? Because let's say that all men made a bet together tomorrow 8 a.m. They've said stop DMing girls every day. You can only DM one girl every 50 days. I feel like a lot of this would change. But the social media has changed a lot of the attraction dynamic.
Exactly. Like, I grew up in the pen pal era.
In a what?
The pen pal era.
I said pimp.
She did.
Get the app today. It's on apple.com.
The pen pal, when you write to people.
Long distance, because I danced in
People
shows.
you never met and you would just exchange?
No, it was my high school friends. Like, I didn't. There was no internet. There was no nothing back in those days. Yeah.
There are studies that show, this is actually in, I believe in Evolution of Desire, where they talk about as men watched more pornography or looked at images of attractive women, they started to deem their partner as being less and less attractive. The same thing happens for women, guys. It does. And like your partner doesn't do anything wrong, but you are just constantly comparing him. And because of Dunbar's number, which is anthropologically or like historically, humans were in tribes of about 115 to 150 people. You're not in a tribe of 150 people. There's going to be 60, 70,000 people watching this show right now. And so when you come to that realization, like you have access to infinite levels of people and you don't recognize. So now you start to stratify for that top 1%. Things become unrealistic and you're all trying to chase Chad and Tyrone, and then it becomes a fucking problem.
Well, Mike, you know what it is, though? When you do that, then you start finding value in real, authentic, genuine people.
Of course.
Mike,
you know what I mean?
what's the solution? Mike and Rollo, what is the solution here? I have an idea.
You go first and I'll say.
De-incentivize. It boils down to operant conditioning. It's basically I'm going to be Rollo the behaviorist right now. It's operant conditioning. You have to remove the reward. And no one has the will to remove the reward. People have asked me about, what I was just on Tim Pool asked me exactly the same question. I'm like, you have to remove the incentives. You have to remove the rewards. Oh, how do we stop only from like destroying the world? You have to regulate it. It has to be federally regulated for anything, if you want to see anything happen, because there is no incentive for anyone to stop watching or producing right now.
All of your guys' friends do only
Oh, I know.
Every single one of your girls is friends.
I know, and I'm not suggesting that we do that, but that's the only way I can see where you could, and that's just one example, right?
So women should stop sleeping with men out of wedlock.
Is coming.
Don't have sex with any man unless you
OnlyFans anymore, you guys.
Incentive.
What I'm saying is because women will say, well, if guys would be better, then women will be better. Okay, the only way you do that, disincentivize whatever it is that women are rewarding men with, and therefore you will change the dynamic. You change the nature of the game. It's never going to happen. I'm not suggesting it. I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just saying if you want a mechanic that would work, that's the only one that'll work, and no one has the will to do it.
He's expressing a mathematical equation, or he's expressing an if-then statement in programming.
See, watch your head, your eyes gloss back over in your head when I throw out.
Exactly.
But he's expressing a mathematical situation. Right. He's not expressing. It's not a prescription. For me, no, we're doomed. I know people hate when I say this.
Enjoy the decline.
We're doomed. Enjoy the decline. Men will be Men will be robots in 10, 20 years, and women will be having women will be having children with other women. You should read Ray Kurzweil's book called "The Singularity Is Near." The final chapter talks about this. But even when the Titanic was sinking, some people found lifeboats. I'm trying to create a lifeboat. That's what this is.
Yes.
And I'm telling you right now. So it was actually Ruslan of all people. He said this. He goes, "My kids are going to look like superheroes." You want to know why? Because they're going to be able to fight. They're going to be able to bench press. They're going to be able to play football. They're going to be able to talk to strangers. They're going to read books. They're going to do all these things.
Shift.
Yeah, they're going to do all these things. He goes, "My kids are going to look like superheroes. So me and my guys, we're going to look like superheroes, while the rest of you fucking video games,
VR.
watch a bunch of porn, and robots."
Yeah.
That's
Smoke
the
weed.
Yeah. Yep.